Okay. Hi. Um. Yeah. So I decided to go live because I just want to talk about what I seen yesterday and how a bunch of y'all is fucking eating paint chips. But since everybody else gives a disclaimer, I'm gonna give my own disclaimer. Disclaimer alert. Disclaimer alert. These are my thoughts. These are me giving thoughts from a unbiased point of view. These are not personal shots. I do not have anything against anybody. No malice towards anybody. No venom towards anybody. Not being mean. This is clearly me stating what I seen yesterday. Okay. Okay. No. 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 Okay. Sorry, I like making sound effects. Anyway, yesterday, um, we found out that that nigga that live over there in that house with the falling down ceilings that look like he been brushing his teeth with a can of Crisco grease from the original set of The Color Purple. The one that looked like he has a receding hairline starting in the back of his head and going up with that big old hook head, little peanut head, little skinny neck. He's so annoying, so annoying. But yesterday he came out, or it was said on the Gumby Grandpa Man panel, that his homeboy done some real foul stuff. And from there, the story continued, and the whole sector talked about it. Multiple sectors talked about it. Shout out to my bestie, who don't want to be my bestie, but she's my bestie on YouTube now, Diva Tomboyish, because yesterday I went and watched one of her videos where Diva actually gave a very thorough breakdown of the charges and the story that was perfectly executed. Now, I know a lot of times in the sector that people talk about stuff and they let their feelings for other people get in the way of it. And I think that is really sad. I think that it's sad. Like, it's sad that people can't give commentary and people can't give dialogue without having their personal issues come in the matter, or they think it's a play behind the scenes and, oh, this person is just doing this, oh, this is biased commentary, oh, this is fake outrage. Yesterday was the perfect example for us in our sector, a sector where everybody beefs, everybody talks shit, everybody does the most disgusting, says the most vile things about people's parents, children, bloodline, hell, even dogs, cats, chickens, whatever you want to call it. But yesterday, a lot of people miss the mark. A lot of people miss the mark of a conversation that we have been circulating and that we have been having. But because people are so caught up in their emotions that they weren't able to fully execute the conversation the way that it should have been. Shout out to Bree for standing up for her bestie and getting the conversation started. Shout out to Pizza, because girl, we already know you gonna ride, you gonna do whatever it is you gotta do to defend yourself, baby. You do that. And I was so happy that Auntie Nika opened up the den for us to have this conversation, even though shit went left. And I already told y'all, I'm gonna cuss y'all asses out today, later today, probably in this same goddamn live, because a lot of y'all need to be fucking slapped in the head with the goddamn Bible. Because some of y'all are fucking disgusting ass humans. And I'm gonna say that shit. And I don't care if anybody gets offended or if anybody feels I'm coming after them. We can have a private conversation. I don't mind. But I'm sorry. I got to call this shit out. And I got to call this shit straight down the line. Yesterday was a great day for us to have a conversation about how in the black community, black women are not protected. Black women are not protected because a lot of people are out here fantasizing the way it used to be in the olden days, the way it used to be for our grandmothers and our great grandmothers, not realizing that our grandmothers and our great grandmothers were fucking victims. They were victims. I think I was in one of the chats yesterday, and I had told somebody that I had to step away from YouTube yesterday because I got triggered. I have a cousin that is on the spectrum. She's 25 now, but she's on the spectrum. And my little cousin's mind will never develop past the age of a 5-year-old. My baby 25 right now. Yes, I consider her to be one of my babies and one of my surrogate kids. I have a few kids in my family that I consider to be my surrogate kids because I'm really hands-on when it comes to my family. But she spent a lot of time with me growing up, and I became very protected over her. The reason why I became very protected over her is because my little cousin was sexually assaulted. She was sexually assaulted by somebody that was a friend of the family that was supposed to be babysitting her. And he was actually grooming her because even though she at the time she was 13. Well, if y'all didn't heard me talk about the women in my family, we're very curvy. We're very curvy, we're very voluptuous, and that shit comes at a very early age for us. Hell, I didn't have booty since I was like 11, just stacked for no damn reason. And yesterday, I had to step away because I got triggered and I couldn't believe that people were excusing the behavior of this monster. Yes, I am calling him a monster because he is not remorseful. He trolled us yesterday with the actions that he did. And I know that Sassy came on the panel and she read the charges. And I guarantee the little girl that he victimized, that he later got out of jail, went back and married, he called her his victim. He called her his victim. And people were just sitting there like making excuses. Oh, you know how girls are at that age. Oh, well, we can't blame her or him. We got to blame her mama. No, fuck that. We going to blame that boy, 17, 18, 19, don't fucking matter. We going to blame that boy for stealing the innocence of a 13-year-old girl. And that was one of the things yesterday that pissed me off with a lot of fucking people is that they were forgetting the fact this was a 12 or 13-year-old girl that was victimized. I don't give a I don't give a fuck that after he got out of jail, he fucking married her. He stole her innocence. He stole her innocence because it was easy to go after her than trying to have some game and go after somebody that is able to give consent to whatever the fuck he had in his mind to do. He went after this 13-year-old girl. And everybody kept saying, oh, it's statutory rape. No, it's not. In order for it to be statutory rape, the person has to be over the age of 18. Over the age of 18. So that means that if somebody 18 or 19 decides to date anybody 16 or 17, that's the charge it gets. He got 3 serious charges, went to jail for it, was supposed to have himself on a list. Then you have people saying, oh, well, he married her, so does he have to still go and register? Yes, he has to register for life. Anytime he goes to renew his ID, anytime he has to go to move or have a proof of address change, he has to register. And the fact that he wasn't doing it and hadn't done it for over 10 plus years, and people were still making excuses. I'm sorry, when I see issues like that and I see people in those type of situations and they keep making excuses for it, the first thing I want to ask is, I'm sorry, do you have trauma? I'm sorry, is there something that you want to tell the class? Is there something you want to come sit on my couch in my office and talk about? Because obviously you're making excuses for it because somebody made an excuse for you. I am so sorry that nobody protected you. I am so sorry that nobody spoke up for you when they should have. I encourage some of you guys to go talk to your mamas and your daddies and go talk to your grandmas, your great aunts. Go talk to them women. Go talk to them women and actually have a deep conversation so you can understand why the situation that was brought to YouTube was not okay. And it was time for us to have a conversation. Oh my God, the main person that totally surprised me with their emotion, but I'm not surprised, was Ken Nola. When Ken got on Bree's panel to start talking about it, Ken said he was emotional. Ken has a daughter. I have a daughter. I have a goddaughter. I also have 4 sons and 2 godsons. You let me find out one of my boys, 17, 18, 19-year old, got their eye on a goddamn 12 or 13-year old. I'm going to beat the shit out of my son. We're going to have a serious conversation of why that shit's not okay. We had an incident with my older son. When he was in high school, he was a junior. He played basketball. One little freshman girl was soft on him. She wanted to go to homecoming with him. I didn't really approve of it. His father didn't approve of it. It made him feel uncomfortable. But the girl's parents came to us and explained to us that she really likes him as a friend and she just wants to go to homecoming with him. They're not going to date, anything like that. So I said, okay, son, go ahead and take her. Go ahead and take her. We'll shop around. We'll drop you guys off. Just if you feel like you don't want to dance, my oldest baby is very shy. He doesn't like to dance in public. But I told him, if you don't want to dance, that's fine. Give her 1 or 2 dances. Make sure you are respecting her body and make sure you are respecting her space and you be a gentleman the way that we raised you to have a good time. Most of the times when we hear stories about children being violated or women being violated, that's because these piss poor ass wannabe mamas out here didn't raise their fucking sons correctly. They didn't invest no time into their sons. They didn't spend time with their sons. They didn't have no good fucking figures in their sons. And another thing that the black community does not want to acknowledge, we always talk about men being predator, but it's some of these stank assholes out here that is messing with these young boys. Messing with these young boys, having these young boys be hypersexual too fucking early, and then they can't fucking control themselves. That's not an excuse either, but that's just stated facts. Yesterday was a great time for us to have a conversation, to actually have a conversation to understand the severity of it. I know you had a lot of people trying to generalize what was said and trying to make a connection because they have a son, they have a daughter. Like I said, I got 6 loving young black men that look to me as a mama. But I can't be so worried about their future and what they can do when at the same time I have a daughter. I sympathize more with the little girl that was 13 or 12 than my goddamn sons. And that was a part that was sickening. And then another thing, I need y'all to go open up Webster's dictionary or somebody's dictionary because y'all are completely getting the term male identified wrong. The same way that y'all get the term use of mammy wrong. I'm gonna need y'all to fucking get it together because Y'all really pissed me off yesterday. And I know I was in some of the chats and I was wailing and I was cussing. And then, I was in pieces chat I swear to God, I swear to God. Because I was getting so upset because I couldn't understand why the fuck shit was going left. I couldn't understand why we couldn't have this fucking conversation. Why the fucking shit going left? For what? Y'all can't control yourself. Y'all letting the envy and the hate and the disdain y'all have for somebody else cloud your mind that fucking bad? That y'all just can't fucking get it together and have a goddamn conversation and understand something? It should have started as us talking about the situation, talking about the effects of the situation, keeping it on the topic at hand for the situation, and then maybe at a turning point, we're gonna turn it and we're gonna talk about, well, how can we change this? How can we curve this so this shit don't happen no more? That's how I thought it was gonna go yesterday. I thought we was gonna talk about the situation, understand it, sympathize with the victim, and then talk about how we can protect our children, especially our daughters. I bet a lot of people don't know y'all have people that are survivors, because I don't look at nobody as a victim. Everybody is a survivor of their trauma and their pain and their hurt. But nobody was really sympathizing with the little girl. Everybody was so fucking stuck on this grown ass nigga. Talk about some, oh, well, he went and he done his time. It was one mistake. Inserting your private part in another person's private part is not a mistake. That is something that you are purposely doing. That ain't no mistake. That ain't no bad choice. A bad choice is choosing to eat fucking 7-Eleven sushi. That's a goddamn bad choice. Bad choice is stopping at a restaurant on the side of the road to eat food and you look at the food grade and it's a fucking C or D. That's a bad choice. A bad mistake is using expired um box perm. That's a mistake. But what he done, that was not a mistake. That was something he intended to do. He intended to do that. And then the fact that when he served his time and got his funky, ratchet, raggedy ass out, that girl's mama found him in her house on her daughter's bed. Baby, I would have aired that bitch out that day. I would have. I would have aired that bitch out. But I also know within the black community that we will also cover up trauma. We will cover up what's going on. We will cover up what happens. It's kind of how the whole thing where everybody know it's that one creepy cousin or that one creepy aunt that gets too drunk and too friendly, or that one creepy uncle. Instead of everybody fucking letting it known like, hey, don't let Leroy near your kids, somebody will whisper, can you go in the back and check on them kids? Leroy back there, he not right sometimes. Instead of just saying, hey, Leroy, if kids are coming to the event, your bitch ass can't come. It is so fucking simple. And I kind of felt yesterday that was the motion and the vibe that everybody was giving. Everybody was so complex on fucking making excuses and want to break down the law and break down this charge and break down that charge to basically exercise every possible reasoning of why this is semi okay. Why is it semi? Oh, well, he married her, and oh, this was so long ago. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How would you feel if that was your fucking daughter? I'm at a place where I can stop. Sorry, you guys. I don't have the comments up, and I just been sitting here. Oh, hey, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't have the comments up. I was just running my mouth because I just had to get that shit out my system because it was just, Lord Jesus, it was stressing me out. It was stressing me the fuck out. stressing me out because I'm the type of person where I have to understand. I have to understand what's going on. I have to understand the way somebody is thinking. I'm sorry, maybe it's because I read too many psychology books, maybe because I come from a family where my grandmother always exercised using your brain. Use your brain. Your brain, your head is more than my papa used to always say, your head is more than a hat rack. Use your brain. And that is something that I've always exercised is that I have to understand. I was taught if you don't understand, ask questions. Ask questions very respectfully. Yes, my granny is very southern. She's a bayou baby. So we was raised with, we was raised to respect others, respect your settings, surroundings, be respectful, lead with respect, but return with disrespect when it is present. And I feel like yesterday turned into so much fucking disrespect that I just couldn't stomach. I ended up just getting off, shutting everything down because it's like I know how Hazel gets. I know how Hazel's mouth gets. If I get too riled up, oh motherfucker, I got something to say. And nothing's gonna be nice. Everything's gonna be a cuss word. Everything's gonna be motherfucker this, you raggedy trout mouth, rabbit hole bitch this. It's gonna get real disrespectful. Real disrespectful. And I feel like yesterday it was no fucking respect. It was no respect for people's feelings, people's opinions. It was no fucking respect for people's platforms. Now I know a lot of times we go live, we do our content, and it be on some fuck shit. That I understand, but we have to understand. But we also have to understand and acknowledge when it is a topic and a very serious topic that we were having yesterday. That y'all gotta have some fucking decorum. Have some fucking decorum. Put your feelings and personal thoughts aside to the next person. Put that shit to the fucking side and let's have this conversation. Let's discuss some shit. Let's read some charges. Let's educate ourselves. Did any of y'all go look up how many offenders live near y'all? Cause I know the fuck I did. I know the fuck I did, and I had a real Black Karen moment because I sent a very detailed letter to my HOA like, hey, did you know that X, Y, and Z lives in the neighborhood? Now I'm not gonna be like one of them little law TV shows where they go put the shit on somebody's front yard. No, I'm not gonna do that. But the next time we have events in the housing community, I'm gonna have my eyes a little bit more open. I'm gonna make sure I'm side eyeing a little bit more closer. I'm gonna be more aware when small children and children are out for that matter. And if I see something, I'm gonna pull somebody's mama to the side, like, hey baby, you need to go over there and get your daughter. Um, After this, come on, let's come back to my driveway so me and you can have a private conversation. Or I'm gonna send hubby out. Hey, babe, I need you to go over there and go. And normally, me and him have certain like codes and like things we do where we ain't gotta say really what we want to say and is spin, and hubby is more of a gentle giant. He steps in and he takes care of what needs to be said or done without me having to show my ass and go reach for a purse because it be on me. But I was really upset, like, damn, like, We can. It's to the point I even put my phone down, took my earbuds off, powered down my iPad, went down the hall to ask hubby, like, babe, you know XYZ going on today? And these raggedy motherfuckers can't hold their damn composure. I was really upset, y'all. I was really upset because I couldn't understand why we were having this serious, good conversation. And you raggedy motherfuckers just couldn't hold it together. Mm, raggedy, just raggedy. You know what? You know what? I understand why now. My big mama used to always tell my aunties they ass is raggedy because y'all just raggedy. You're some raggedy motherfuckers. And then Auntie Nika made a very good, made a very good comment. Auntie Nika said that when stories get shared like this, people don't understand that it triggers the victim, causing them to be re-victimized all over again. And I felt that. And I clearly understood where she was coming from. Because we have a situation, we're trying to talk about it, and people is finding every excuse to justify, or they want to look at it in a different perspective. No, a different perspective is I went and bought some wings from Wingstops and the fucking cashier had attitude. So now I got an attitude. A different perspective would have been like, you know what? Let me step back. Maybe this cashier is tired. Maybe they're short staffed. Maybe they need help. A different perspective is not, well, he, it was a mistake and he learns from it. That's not a different perspective. That's not. And what people don't understand is that when somebody commits a sexual crime, they do this shit again. There's no, oh, it's just one time. They do this shit again. They victimize somebody, and once they get away with it, they might be good for a little bit. But whatever demon is inside their ass and inside their brain that made them do what they did, oh, it's gonna happen again. That victim's gonna come back. That demon's gonna rear its head and it's gonna happen again. And it's gonna happen again and again and again. That's how serial crimes happen. They happen again because they're not caught and people don't take the shit serious. Now I know y'all didn't watch Law and Order. I know y'all didn't watch CSI. I know y'all didn't watch these shows where they have these people that commit these heinous crimes, and because they get away with it the first time, they keep doing it. Most of them get addicted to doing it, and it keeps fucking happening. But no, 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 no. Yesterday, y'all was too goddamn busy throwing shade at each other, and this person's jealous, and that person's jealous, and this happened, and that happened, instead of us having a simple conversation where we're trying to understand something. And some of y'all just couldn't do it. Not at all. I had to scratch my head because I didn't understand. Not at all. It made no goddamn sense of why the fuck y'all just couldn't figure the shit out. Hey, everybody coming in. Oh, sorry, y'all, that my sound's going out. I think it's because I'm driving around the woods. Hubby is sick, and I'm still a little congested, so I gotta go to his job and pick up his laptop. So sorry about my sound. But yep, I just had to come in, had to give my 2 cents because some of y'all really. I looked at y'all. I'll say this: yesterday, after yesterday, I looked at a lot of y'all different. I looked at y'all a lot different. I really did. Especially the ones making excuses and trying to justify. And maybe for me, it hits different because I've been around too many situations where what happened to that 13-year-old happens so often. It's also another reason why I have this, why years ago I left church. And if anybody knows me, knows that I am a bishop's granddaughter. I think we have every denomination in my family, and everybody holds either a bishop or a pastor or a reverend, evangelist, whatever y'all want to call them. Everybody holds a title. And we had an incident in a church that my own family helped founded. And when I mean helped founded, like our family name is on a pew. Oh yeah, my great aunt and grandma and them broke bread on the church. And we had an incident where one of the kids had brought their friend to church with them. And as you guys know, in most black churches, we have children's church. Or if you're under the age of 18, you go sit in children's church. It's in order for the kids to be able to understand the word a little better. Well, we had an incident where one of the kids who was 17, one of the kids was 17, and he brought his friend who was 18 to church with him. They were in children's church. Me and a few other of the elders spoke up and said, no, no, this young man is 18. He needs to go to the main sanctuary and his friend could go with him. The boy's mom, oh no, it's fine. My son is only 17. He's always in kids' church. He wants to be a deacon, blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. That was Diva, shut your ass up. You know you love me, ho. Be my friend. Tired of your shit. I gave you a shout out too, ho. Anyway, so the boy came to church. I kept my eye on him. I said, one of my nephews, I told him like, hey, sit here, sit in the back of this classroom and just keep an eye out. Like I said, me, hubby, our family, we all have signals and stuff because we are very aware when it comes to our children. First Sunday, he's there. All right. Second Sunday, he's there. Now my eyebrows are raised. All right, cool. Third Sunday, he there. Okay. Hey, Bird. Fourth Sunday, he comes and he says, "Oh, I'm thinking about joining the church. Joining the mentoring program, the men's program, all that good stuff." All right, cool. Praise him. Hallelujah. Praise him. So he's in the church for about 3 months now, and I'm still heavenly speaking. This young man needs to be in children's church. Having in mind the classroom that he's in, it's high school age. It's high school age, right? Everybody is so hell bent. Oh, he's dedicating his life to the Lord. He's dedicating his life to God. Fuck that shit. My baby's in this class. My daughter's in this class. My sons are in this class. And my little niece is in this class. So one day, my niece comes to me and she goes, Auntie, I need to talk to you. I go, huh? She goes, Auntie, please come here. I need to talk to you. So I'm like, what's wrong? Auntie baby. Did you know the whole TT baby? What's wrong, baby? What's going on? You okay? Are you sick? You hungry? What's wrong? I'm one of those aunties. Like, I panic. Like, oh my God, what's wrong? What's going on? What's going on? So my niece pulls me into the pastor's chambers, which is our grandfather's chambers, because our grandpa is, the pastor. Pulls me into the chambers, and she goes, Auntie, something's wrong with so and so's stomach. She's in the bathroom. I go, she's in the bathroom. She goes, yes, Auntie. Auntie, can you please come here, but can you be quiet? I said, be quiet. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this girl got her period. And if she's around the age of my niece, it could be her first period. So Papa keeps a box of female, as he calls them, female napkins. Papa keeps a box of female napkins in his office under the desk. So I grabbed the shoebox, go in the bathroom. Y'all tell me why this little girl was spotting. She was spotting and she was complaining of her stomach hurting. And I looked at her, and the first thing I asked her was, "When was your last menstrual cycle?" Her eyes got real big. And my niece like squeezed my hand. I said, "No, I need you guys to tell me the truth. What's going on here?" Long story short, we found out the little girl was pregnant. The little girl was 14 years old. Do y'all know that same boy that came to our church with his friend? Do y'all know that he had been talking to her? That he found her social media page and was trying to date her. End up getting her to meet him at a park and sexually assaulted that baby. I go and tell my grandfather and my uncles because church got protocol. I go tell them what's going on. We have a meeting in the office. We have his friend that family's part of the church. We call them in. We call them into the office. My grandfather says, "Okay, baby girl, step out." I do as so. I heard my oldest brother yelling. So I'm that kind of little sister. My brother yelling, all right, cool. We finna square up what's going on. I don't care if I'm sitting there in a suit with heels on, crier rope. I don't care. Why is my brother yelling? I end up going back to the office, but one of the deacons said, no, 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 no. Let them handle it. The boy's mother that was a part of the church was upset with us because we confronted, and because of our family and the stuff our family is involved in, we have to now report this. She did not want us to report it because she didn't want this young man's life ruined. And maybe it was just misunderstood. Do you guys know in some states your parents could give you consent to get married? They used to do this back in the day. I actually had a great aunt. My great aunt had to marry her abuser and have kids with him. So the whole situation pissed off my whole entire family. Whole entire family. Within the whole entire next month, we resigned. Yes, we held positions in the church. We resigned. We resigned. I only go back to the church when I visit to show my face because it is my family's church. We resigned. My grandfather ended up asking the lady in her family to leave the church also. But me and my brother and a few of our other family members that held positions in the church, we stepped down because we couldn't agree with what the other board members were asking us to do. You're basically telling us that you don't want us to report this because you don't want to ruin this young man's life because he found God and it's a mistake and we could fix this. But nobody was thinking about now this 14-year-old girl with a baby in her belly that has to go into high school with a baby in her belly. That's why I was so pissed off yesterday with people. Because we be so quick to stand up for these men, but when do these men stand up for us? When do we step back and say, you know what? It is not about that black man right now. It's about this goddamn little girl right here. It's about her. We have to defend her. We have to prepare her. Prepare her for this harsh world that she has to go out to. It's crazy. It is so crazy. Black women already have to watch what we say, watch how we wear our hair, watch how we dress. If we If we sit up and we show emotion, we're too angry. If we show passion, we're loud and wrong. That shit crazy as hell to me, bruh. Crazy as hell to me. And then another thing that really made me highly mad about the man over there with the fallen ceilings, the one that brushed his teeth with butter, is that he has a daughter. And he overlooked what happened and made that man his daughter's godfather. Does he not realize the purpose of a godfather or a godparent? You choose your children's godparents. If something happens to you, they will stand up and they will raise your children. Yeah, Diva. Yeah, you can. No problem, sweetie. But you better give me a shot on and tell everybody I'm your bestie. Or just give me $1. I don't care. Um, then he sit up and showed pictures of his daughter with the man. Do y'all know that if anybody came near me or any of my cousins or any of my aunties and they looked at us crazy, my grandmother will immediately go in her room. Bruh, girl, Diva, girl, shut up. We besties. My grandmother would go in her room, go in this one hat box that we were forbidden to touch, but I'm nosy, so I went inside of it. And my grandmother kept a pearl-handed pistol. My grandma will put this pearl-handed pistol my grandma always had on the apron. She would just slide her pistol in her apron. And it was one incident I'll never forget this. One of my uncles had a friend over to the house. I told y'all my grandma's very country and old school. When adults are in the room, children leave. My uncle's friend came over. Him and his homeboy came over. They were drinking like 40, not 40 ounces. What's that? What's that beer in the green can? Is it Mickey's? I think it's Mickey's. My uncle's friend was drinking Mickey's out the can. My grandmother didn't like that. She told him to go to the kitchen and get a glass. He came back, he got a glass, he poured it in a glass, and he sat on the couch. Him and my uncle talking. Me and some of my cousins come inside for playing for lunch. My grandma says, go wash your hands and then goes to the table. We say, yes, ma'am, we do as we told. My uncle's friend got up and came and sat at the table with us. Started talking to us. We're kids. We're not really, we don't know. We're just talking. Oh, hi, how you doing today? Blah, 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 blah. We're kids. We was also told you don't get in adults' faces. So we're all very standoffish. We know not to move your ass out that seat. She said, sit down, you sit down. The guy gets a little too close to one of my older cousins. Well, she's not older. She's 3 years older than me. He gets a little too close. And when I says close, like his face is at her ear. I don't know what he was saying, but he was too close. My grandmother kitchen, the door that led to the dining room was a slinging door. My grandma, we hear her feet coming. So we all, sit up straight, no bad posture. She did not play that shit. I heard the swinging, I heard the door swing and I heard a pop. Do y'all know my grandma shot a vase? Scared everybody the fuck in the house. She shot a vase. We all looked, and the only words I heard was, get your ass out my house. When I got older, I found out that this same friend was a sex offender. He was known for messing with little girls in the neighborhood, little preteen and teenage girls. She possibly saved, not possibly, she saved my cousin from being his next victim. Do y'all know that man never came back to that damn house? Child, grandma was that lady. She didn't play. But I'm done venting. I feel better. I gave you guys 44 minutes. I feel proud of myself. Um, if you're watching the replay, thank you. Granny was a G. My granny was a G, and baby, she drove a Buick. She had a Buick, and then my grandparents had a 6'4". Child, Granny and Papa was that couple. But thank you guys so much for listening. And if you're watching the replay, give me some feedback, give me some comments, and also if you guys could drop some topics for me so we could get the ball going. We got to get me to the 1,000. I need these watch hours so I can come entertain y'all. But thank you guys so much, and just remember, y'all, we have to work on being there for each other and being present for each other. It's time that we have each other's backs. So, oh, Chantel, oh, girl, yes, we finna do that. Oh, yes, that is the next one. We're gonna figure out when to do this, and hopefully, when we do it, I could come on camera and then I could bake something too. Oh, that'd be a good one. We could do a panel. All right, cool. I gotta go to where I'm going. Oh, I'm going inside to get hubby stuff. So love you guys so much. Thank you. If you watching the video, like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna try to drop some dates, and we're gonna do this panel with these old school desserts. Oh, so excited. Okay, love you guys. Bye.